Hi everyone, thank you for joining the webinar. My name is Jonathan. So I work here in the education team at Shortcuts, and I'm super excited to be showing you how you can generate some money while you're closed. So what we're doing sort of is creating a club, a rewards club, where we can hopefully sort of garner some of that money that we're going to be earning in the future and bring it to our bank accounts right now instead. So there's me. Like I said, my name's Jonathan. So I've been with the Shortcuts team for just over 2 years now, and I came from the hair industry. I was there for about 20 years as a stylist and a manager. So I guess what I've been trying to think now over this period is, how would I be tackling this as a manager? What would I want to be trying to do? There's quite a few of us here at Shortcuts with experience in the industry, and we're all putting our heads together to try and come up with ways to help you guys sort of get through this through this situation, and sort of just plan for the future, really. So today's webinar is about that, and hopefully you can take away something and implement this idea to get some money for you. So first things first, we're just going to go through just the housekeeping really, which is the webinar will be for about 30 minutes. My microphone is turned on. Everyone else has been automatically muted. So your speakers must be turned on to hear this webinar. A recording of the webinar and a how-to guide will be emailed to you as well later. And there'll be a short Q&A at the end of the session. We had a massive group this morning, so I've taken into account some of the questions that were sort of posted. So hopefully I can sort of answer those within the webinar as well today. So if there are any questions you have, please just post them into the box and I'll be answering them at the end of the session today. So what we'll be covering is the COVID-19 and how it's affecting the salons. What is the Rewards Club? Why you should be using it, how to price the membership, that's very important, how to set it up in your system, and how to then sort of approach your clients and sell it to your clients. So firstly, I just wanted to touch on the current COVID-19 pandemic. And personally, I just wanted to say really that I hope you're all staying safe. I know that some salons are open, some salons are closed. You just need to do what's best for you, but please stay safe. So I hope everyone that you love and all your team members are all happy and healthy. Because we do know it's a really challenging time right now, and we've never seen anything like it. Even for our company, it's very challenging as well. But we are here to help you in any way that we can. So it is a focus for our business to keep your business running. And as you may have seen in some emails recently, our CEO, John Benders, has been sending a couple of emails out to just touch on what we're doing to help our clients through this time. So I just wanted to quickly touch on them again just now. So we're doing our best to keep our business operating so we can support you. This means our 24/7 help desk remains operational, and so does your Shortcuts system. We are providing free marketing support, so if you haven't already, please check out the communications kit on our COVID-19 resource hub. It's got loads of email, SMS, and social media templates that are free for you to use and communicate with your clients. Our marketing team will be posting more information and support material from day to day. So please just keep checking in there on a daily basis. We're developing our product, which is something that we're always doing anyway, but at the moment our focus is to develop ways that we can tackle this situation that's we're going through at the moment. So there are heaps of resources, like I said. So please just keep checking online for all the resources that we have, whether they're educational or sort of the marketing as well. What we're trying to do is facilitate community. So if you aren't part of the Shortcuts Facebook groups, we do have more than one. I do suggest joining. So we have more of the official Shortcuts platform, So if you want to go to Shortcuts Software Australia, that will bring up the sort of more official Facebook page. And then we've got our little Shorties forum, which is a more informal forum, which is more up for discussion, really. So we post a few more fun things on there. But plenty of material on both of them. So let's get started on why we're actually here today. So what is the, oops, sorry, went one too many. So what is the actual rewards club itself? So what we figured out was around 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your clientele. So what we're going to be using, this is a forgotten feature really in the Shortcuts Fusion, which is your desktop version, to generate some cash flow for your business. So even while you're closed, if you happen to be closed at the moment. So what we're going to do is target a small group of top spending clients with an offer which hopefully they can't refuse, and a way to help your business keep running through the times when maybe your revenue, well, I suspect your revenue has been drastically cut, unfortunately, and some of you are also closed. So this is going to be the Shortcuts Rewards Club. So how the Rewards Club works, your client makes an upfront payment to join your club, which is then given back to them to be redeemed later for services in your salon that are worth more than they paid. So it sounds pretty simple. So the upfront amount and the reward value, they're customizable. That's absolutely up to you. So we do recommend that you think about how much you want to bring in, how much money do you want to bring in, and then also how much you're able to sort of give back, really. So you can set up more than one club. You set up as many clubs as you like. So they could be sort of differing in their reward amounts. So just an easy example would be a client pays $1,000 upfront, but what they get is to be able to redeem later are $2,000 worth of points. So if you sold 10 of those in a week, that would be $10,000 for you. So the Rewards Club is available for everyone on any package. It is easy to set up. It might not look that way today, but I promise you it is. There are just lots of small little steps that all just lead in. Like I said, this webinar will be going to you anyway. You will have a how-to guide which you can have. There's other material for you to download, and there are how-to videos as well. So don't just think that you need to be scribbling down frantically to get all this information, because you don't have to. So just sort of watch through, feel if you want to implement it, you can, and then we can come back later to sort of look at the webinar, and then we can start setting it up. So it will also give you then, like we say before, the ultimate goal is to get that immediate cash injection. So it's a great ongoing revenue driver and also builds loyalty, because if someone's going to be giving you some money now, then hopefully they're not just going to walk away, go somewhere else. So that would be building the loyalty for you, and they'll also be grateful that you're giving them something as well. So there are a few things you need to consider before we get started. Do you have access to your salon computer? How will you structure your membership tiers? And how will you sell them to your clients? Getting a bit tongue-tied there. So if you do have access to your salon computer, there's a couple of things you can do. You can get to the salon, make sure it's turned on, make sure your Shortcuts is open, your internet is turned on. Then you can possibly access that computer remotely from home. The other thing you could do is take your computer home. Now, you don't actually need the internet to set this up, because we're not web-based, so everything will be set up on the computer itself in your Shortcuts system. But you won't be able to email or use the marketing if you're not connected to the internet. We do recommend, if you are connecting to the internet, to hardwire, so use the cable to plug into the computer rather than Wi-Fi. It's just more stable. If you're unable to access your computer, that's fine. You can possibly, if you have access to Excel or some other program on your computer, you can set up a spreadsheet. Just record the client's names, details of which membership tier they're on, how they paid, maybe if they have paid or not. You might want to set up a payment plan for them. They can direct deposit into your account. They could use PayPal, Afterpay. There's a few things you can do. If you're able to take your EFTPOS machine home, that would be great. You could set that up at home as well. And you can still do your shortcuts marketing and stay in contact with them as well. So a few things for you to consider. So these are the top questions, the important questions that you need to find your answers for before you set up this club. So you need to find out who your top 20% are. So we'll be running a report which is actually your top 20 spending clients, not the top 20%. I've seen some databases, you've got like 20,000 people in there. So it's up to you how many people you want to target, but what you want to target is a smaller group is the better, really. How do we work out, or how do we approach how we're going to work this out? So I would probably pick up a date range of the past 6 months. So you're going to take those clients and see what they spent in the past 6 months with you. So how much should it cost? So that is going to be your reward as well. So they're really the main things that you need to be thinking about. So just as a bit of a sort of a guide, so this is an example. So please don't just copy ours. You've got to make sure that these are fit for your business. So please calculate which rewards are going to work best for you. But as an example, package one could be a 50% sort of added benefit for them. So they pay 200 and they get 300 value back. Package two, they're going to get a 65% added value back. And in package three, would be amazing for everyone if we could, is 100% back. Now, do be careful. We don't want to be giving 100% back for everybody, because what you do need to remember is that you need to be able to service these clients when they come back into the salon. So do you have enough staff to service all these clients that we've given away for? So don't forget, you still got to pay your rent, you still got to pay the staff to service these clients as well, which is why really we only want to target that smaller group, because all your other clients that are going to be coming in as well are going to be then carrying through your reopening period. So what we need to do now is we're going to go into my shortcuts system, and I'm going to show you how we're going to set this up. So let me just bring that up for you. So first things first, what we're going to do is go and find our top 20 spending clients. So we're going to go into reports via your tools and reports. We're going to click on employees. No, we're not. Sorry, we're going to click on clients, and we're going to go straight into our top spending clients. Click on view there. Okay, so I'm going to go for a date range, like I said, of 6 months. So let's just go to October. We'll go October 1st to today. Click on view. So that's brought up 20 clients. So we can see there that the top client has a spend of 836 and the number 20 is 389. Obviously these figures are quite low. This is just my general sort of practice database. It's not a real salon sort of look at the figures. So what we're going to do is print that off, or you can export it. It's up to you. And the way then you're going to look at it is, I guess you can look at it in two different ways. So if we go to Tennille there at the top, who's spending around $900 in a 6-month period, do you want to get the same amount of money from Tennille? So you still want to get that $900, but to entice her to spend it, you're going to give her an extra $300 as well. So you're still trying to get the same money, but you're trying to give then the client that extra benefit. Or you can look at it another way and say, look, she's been out of work as well, she's struggling as well, whatever. We want her to still come to us for everything she would normally have. So I want her to have $900 in benefit, but maybe she can only afford to pay 600 for that or 700. So it's up to you how you look at this. I wouldn't really go to the client and say, hey, I see you spent $900 in the past 6 months or whatever it is, but just say, we've done the figures, this is going to be a really good package for you, and approach it that way, I guess. So you've got those sort of two ways of looking at it. So once we've got that report and printed it or exported it, the first thing we need to do then is go and create our club. So to create the club, we go down to Setup, and the club is just hidden down there at the bottom. I'm going to click on New, and then I'm just going to call this my Early Bird Club. Now, you might have several of these clubs, depending on the added benefit that you want to give. So I'm going to call this one Early Bird Club 50%, because that's their added benefit. Click on Done. Do we want to accumulate points? Yes, we do, because it's the points that they're going to be redeeming. So we just clicked on Yes. Now, here on the left-hand side, you'll also see that there are some discounts that you can give. Now, product discounts. This is a pretty good one. This is a great one. As a manager, I was always discounting products to get them to spend their money. Very few overheads. We order products, they come in, you pay a delivery, they sit on a shelf, just keep them moving. So this one's great if you want to give that added benefit of a discount on products as well while they're in the club. But to set up how they're going to accumulate the points and then redeem the points, we go over to the right-hand side of the screen. Now, don't get confused. I know they're going to be redeeming these on services, but they're not accumulating the points on a service spend. We're selling the club as a sundry. So for a $100 spend, to get that 50% benefit would be $150. Yeah, if they were going to get 100% benefit, that would be double, and we'd be putting 200 in there instead. So it all depends on that percentage, really. An easy one for you as well, because it's 100, whatever the percentage is, would be just that number after the 1. So just to help you out with that one, little tip. So we come down, we've got club points, can pay for. What we want to do is untick products and sundry. We want to be paying for services there. And then which days of the week? You may have a restriction on which days of the week, maybe not a Saturday, it's up to you. But that's obviously your choice to make. You can put an expiration in there on the left. Now, whether that's not, I don't really think that would be something you could do when you're first setting the club up, because you don't know how long you're going to be closed for. So if you put an expiration on, it might not be long enough for them to be able to spend those points. And if you put a duration of months in, that'll be from when you've entered them into the club. So I'm just going to leave that one empty for now. I'm going to go to save. So that's saved that club for me, and I'm going to click on done. So now that the club has been created, what we need to do now is go and create our sundry. So that's what they're going to purchase. Now the sundry we have to link to the club because it's also an activation of the club. So click on configuration there on the right. We go to the panel here on the left-hand side. Now our sundry income is halfway down. It's just going to click on the little dollars there and create a new club. So this is going to be our early bird club, 50%, and this is going to be, I'm just going to call it activation. I'm going to click on done. Now to link it to the actual club, so it does the work for us, we're going to click on sundry type and click on club. Then we're going to choose our related club, which is the early bird 50% there, and click on save. So that's pretty simple. If you wanted to have set amounts for clubs, then you would put an amount up the top on the right-hand side there where it says amounts. So you could say, well, this one is set at 200, that's it. I would probably be a little bit more flexible and allow people to sort of pay what they want to or what they can afford, rather than locking them into it must be 200 or it must be 500. Just see how we go, really. So I'm going to leave that one 0. I'm going to click on save and click on done. So now that we have our clients, we know who they are, and we've created the club and we've linked the sundry, the new sundry now, to the club, I'm going to show you how we activate. So we need to go to the point of sale and we need to bring a client into our point of sale. So I'm going to just search by first name. So we have Frances here on the left. So I can see already that she's already in a VIP club. So if you have clubs set up, I just need to show you something there as well. So we click on done. So we have Frances in our point of sale. VIP club, it also shows us there just underneath Frances's name. If I go to add her, it will tell me that she already is in a club. So what we need to do is go down to the client's card. Click on card and you'll see halfway down here that we have club. Now, if this is an actual running current club, what we'll need to do is find out how many points are on that club, which I'll be showing you in a second anyway. So you want to grab those points, maybe make a note of those points down here in the message area, and then it's up to you. Are you going to add those points to this club now? So you're just going to throw the points on top, or you're going to suspend this club until the new one is over, and then you can reactivate this club. Just make sure that you've got a note of those points. That's up to you. But to activate this new club, there must be none in this field here. So we can't have two clubs at the same time. We're going to click on save and then done. And we're going to go back now and through the same process, click back on sundry, go to our early bird, click on done, and then that's coming in there for us. Now you can see that the price is 0. So we're going to click on that cell and we're going to say that this is 200 and we're going to click on done. All right, so then we're going to process this as normal. So process through, and I'm going to click on end sale. Now that's gone through. Now because the client isn't with us and the client's giving you money, although they'll have that trail through the bank or however they paid, we do sort of recommend really that maybe you would set up email receipts. So to set that up, so it hasn't happened automatically here, we're going to go back to configuration under setup. On the left-hand side, we're going to come down to the general tab near the bottom. That's going to bring up an area here where we can enter your business details. So what you need to do first is make sure you have an email in here. You won't be able to send any email receipts without an email address in here. It doesn't really matter which one you put in, just put one in. If it's yours, whatever, the client's, I don't think the client's going to see it anyway. Then we have that email there. Then we're going to go back into sales and we go to receipt. Just halfway down, it says receipt options and we've got email receipt. So I'm going to tick that on. Click on done and done. So what happens if we want to give a receipt after the event? Well, I've already taken the bill now. So there are two ways to do that. You can access the client's transaction either by the day that they had the transaction or through their history where it's listed with the transaction. So because I know that that was today, I can click on our transaction list. I can right click, I can now email that receipt out to the client. If you need to come back to this at a later date and you're not quite sure which day you took the bill, just go into the client's history, right click again, and we can email from there as well. So it's pretty simple. If you need to check on a client's points, so just like I said before, if there's already a club that they're enrolled into, you'll need to do this. And if they want to ask you how many points they've got, you'll also need to do this, which is find the client. So which will probably then be through clients here on the right hand side. So I'm just going to search for Francis, click on history. And it's always been there, but you've probably never noticed it, which is points there at the very top of the screen. There's 3 tabs. We click on points and that then tells you how many points there are. So that's just rounded off for you. Underneath, there's a little bit of a summary there as well. In this screen, there will be a list. Once they start to redeem those points, it will tell you when those transactions were, how many points, what they were redeemed against as well. So you will have a full history if the client does question when they were redeeming those points. You do have that in here. So in the history under points, there's also which I'll do in a different video, but there's a report as well that you can print off, and you can print off information on any of the clubs that you have currently running, and they will bring up all the people that are in that club and how many points they've got. So you can have a look at everyone at the same time as well. You can also market based off, so you can use a marketing campaign based off a club as well. So if you wanted to market those clients, maybe it was really successful and you want to do it again or just touch base with them, then you can do that through marketing as well, just specifically for those clients, just so you know that. Now, what we'll need to do, so this is just a little tip as well. The only thing you would need to remember, so it's important that you do remember this as well. So while we're setting this club up, we're setting this up while you're closed. So the client is purchasing that sundry. Now, a gift certificate is also a sundry. So If this club is open and the client then buys a gift certificate, they will also gain points on that. So what you'll need to do, you'll do all your marketing, you'll get all your clients enrolled, you're happy, you've got them all in, and you're going to relaunch, and you need to keep the club active because they need to be redeeming those points, obviously. But you're done now. You're not going to be enrolling anyone else anyway. You will come back down to your club. You'll bring up your club name, and we will just update it by taking the sundry back to 0 and then clicking on save. So the club is still active, it's still running, but if they do purchase any other type of sundry, and a sundry can also be a surcharge as well, or maybe a green fee, or a surcharge on a day, or a credit card, or whatever. So they're all classed as sundries. So we do need to bring this back to 0, and then any other sundry purchases you're okay with. All right, but for now, I'm just going to leave that at 150. And I'm just going to recap. So what we did, we went into our reports and had a look at our top 20 spending clients. We've created our club. Then we then created our sundry and attached it over to the club as well. We went through in point of sale how to activate that club, how to send out an email receipt. If I click on receipts, it will come up now with the window, and that's what it will do every single time you take a bill if you have the email receipt ticked on. So you do have that option there to email and print, or just email. If this email field is empty and you pop it in there, the client's email, that will then save into their card for future as well. So you don't have to then go and add it into their card as well. So it will do that for you. Like I said, there'll be another video as well on how to print off a full report, which is good. So I do hope that you found that useful. There's a few other things that I just want to sort of go through as well. So I'm just going to bring my slides back up. Just bear with me a second. Oops. There we go. A little technical issue. So all that's left for you to do now is sell. So how are you going to approach your clients? If you're unsure of how you're going to approach your clients, please go to our website. So you are going to get a copy of these slides anyway, so you can go straight through and click on these. These are actually hyperlinks, so you can go straight through to email, SMS, social media posts, and a phone script if you want to be more personal and actually speak with your clients. What I'm just going to do, I'm just going to slide in here our website. So if you do come through to shortcuts.com.au, go through to our dedicated COVID-19 hub. You'll see we've got a resource hub, communication kit, and how-to videos. Like I say, they are being updated daily. Things are always changing. Click on the communication kit. So we do have some standard marketing templates. But for what we're going through today is dedicated down at the bottom here. So our Rewards Club Communication Kit. We're just going to view the kit. So we've got email templates, SMS, social media, and phone script, like I said. So if I just click on, say, the social media, a little bit of information there for you. So you can simply tap on here and download, and you can download the image if you want to use one of our images as well. Copy and paste. Just be careful if you're copy and pasting anything that we've created for you. Always read through it. Make sure you're happy. It does have spend value in here as well, so you will need to update that. So just have a look through. Go through what we went through before, which is making sure, you know, that you've got enough people to service those clients when they come back in, and you're going to be able to afford to give those that value away. But it's a really good way of approaching the clients to sort of bring some of that money from your loyal top spending clients to when you need it most, which is now. What I would also like to tell you about is in our resources here, we do have podcasts. Now, one of the podcasts that we're going to have in there is of a lady called Susa Wynne Holscher. Now, she actually did this years ago. And in the podcast, she will explain to you how she used this particular concept to great success. In fact, she used to do it every single year to get a lot of money in at the beginning of the year so she could invest in her business. She loved it. Every single year she did it. So go and watch that podcast and hear it from the horse's mouth around why she used to do it every year and why it was so good for her. Other than that, and our resources here on the website, we do have our help desk, which is 24/7, like I said, and the education team are always around as well. So if you do need help setting this up, please reach out. But do have a think about it. It is a really, really good idea. And if anyone wants to shoot over any questions, please do so. Very good. I missed how to redeem, didn't I? Naughty boy, sorry. Let me go and get back to very good question, Georgia. Let me just pop back in here. Naughty boy, good Lord. All right, so redeeming, and it's really important as well because it's a little confusing. So what we're going to do is get Francis and bring Francis back into the point of sale. Now, what we're going to do is bring up a service. Let's just say it's a lady's haircut. Now, this isn't a payment type as such. It's already been paid, it's done. So it doesn't sit down here in the bottom where your normal payments like that are, like gift certificates or series redemption and whatnot. By the way, while I mention the series redemption, that's another video I'm going to be doing because that's also another way of trying to garner some money now for later. So to redeem these points, we're going to go over to where it says the total column on the far right-hand side. So we click on the 90. So what is it you actually see? So you don't see that 90 points is being redeemed. What you see is 81.82. The reason for that and the reason why we suggest using the club to get this money is because you're paying tax on it right away because it's a sale. A gift certificate you're bringing in, it's actually a liability. So you don't pay tax on it until it's redeemed. So rather than selling gift certificates and holding those then as a liability in a monetary value, what we're doing is actually selling something. So we're paying for the tax on it right away. So then when they come to redeem it, they're not paying tax. So what you'll notice in the GST column is 8.18, which is exactly what's been deducted. So the points actually reflect what the service cost is minus GST. So please don't be confused by that. We're going to click on done. So you can see how that's gone through, what the points have been redeemed there on the left. It's just minus the GST off for you. And then the bill is 0. You just click on end sale. You can email that receipt out if you like. Now we've got that feature turned on. So if I just pop into history as well and then click on points, you will see now that there was a redemption for a ladies cut for 81.82, and this client now has 190 points left. Thank you, Georgia. Any other questions anyone has? Cool. We've got no other questions actually, so that's all good. So please stay in touch. Good luck. Stay safe. Hope everyone sort of gets through this sane and healthy. All right. So much love here from the team at Shortcuts, and we will see you in another webinar or in a training session or around somewhere. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for joining.